be in touch with what our fingers are doing and what our hands are doing. So when we talk about our focus being hands today, we're talking about our whole arm, not just our fingers and not just our hands, but hands in a short form, meaning everything that has to do with this limb, whether it be your right or your left. So there's a lot to be taught, okay? But in teaching only hands does not mean that it's an element that is isolated from the whole body. Although we will be concentrating on how the fingers are going to be placed, where the hand comes to, where the arm pushes out, it's all connected to our core muscles and our mind so that it is not a separate element. Okay? So if you can remember that and try to understand it, I think you'll get the most out of this lesson under that premise. Alright. Now, we know that Yang Style Tai Chi is round. We know that it's soft. We know that it's not stiff and hard and not abrupt, because that's not our style. Okay? So come further forward. And then we say, well, I see that my hands are stiff. I feel tension. I sometimes sweat on my hands because I'm trying so hard. That is just the beginning of learning about Tai Chi and learning about yourself. But as you work and you practice and you gain more confidence, the fingers and the palm become softer, and you'll feel the difference. You're more relaxed. So you can't force relaxation, right? You have to have the right environment, and you have to have patience. Over time, you'll feel relaxed. So same with our hands. So something right away we need to learn is that in doing Tai Chi, the fingers take on not this appearance, but more this appearance. So what's the difference? This is the appearance of the hand or the fingers in Tai Chi, whereas it's not so much like this. So what can we say? Can we do what I do? Show me what Tai Chi, the Tai Chi hand posture or form should be, just by showing me a right hand. We are separating the four fingers away from the thumb. So it's a more of a glove appearance rather than, mitten appearance rather than a glove appearance. Okay, four fingers usually stay together. The thumb acts as a separated item. Okay, all right. Now, we know for a fact that it's not going to be like this. Show me this. It's not going to be stiff like that. All right, it's going to be curved to relax. Even when we hold our ball, which you can do now, the thumb is separate from the fingers, but in a natural way. Can you do this? Can you just do this to get the feel of the size of the ball as well as the fingers and how they are grouped? Now, when we work with our hands, we have to rotate our ball. All right, so the rotation is part of the manipulation of our hands, besides just the fingers. So when you rotate the ball, you actually pretend that there is a ball in your hand and you're gripping it softly, but you're turning the ball. All right? Now, what is the size of the ball? Sometimes I know that we start in this way, but as we gain our momentum and do more movements, our ball shrinks. So you should try to get your ball the same size, which is about chest level and right slightly below your navel. Okay. Now rotate. All right. Then the other hand comes up. All right. Rotate again. And try to keep that form. Okay. Rotate. Rotate. Time. Rotate. All right. So you ask yourself, am I about below my navel? Am I about chest high? And that's your natural form. Okay? And then you look at your fingers and you say, are my fingers like my hands written? If it's not, then you just separate it. Okay? So let's just rest. Let me just go over what I said. So at any time when you do Tai Chi and when you are listening to alignment, form, posture, you can never be the same as someone else. You can never be exactly the same as someone else. So what is it that what is your standard? Your standard is knowing who you are and what your body can do and work from there. So if, for instance, I say the parameter is below your navel and at your waist, and you find that hard to do, and you find that you need to relax a little bit more by lowering one hand or closing up one hand, then that's your stance, okay? And then slowly as you work, you can adjust. All right, so now we're going to go through our 24 movements, and we're going to address our hands, okay? And that's when the movement comes into it, and you have to, they're not this way. So they're to your side because your shoulders are relaxed, and this is the only way your arms and hands can be. Okay, good together. Begin. Move your hands to the middle of your thigh. Now slowly elevate it using that back muscle. Slow as you can and as strong as you can. Right at shoulder level, you're going to release and go down, bend the knee, and then rise that right hand up to hold your ball in the TC. And we practice that. All right. The things to watch for are this. When you wrap around and you come up, you already have that soft form. Right here, no stopping, but you see what happens? My stem of my wrist goes down. Then my knees are flexed. Then the right hand comes up at the same time you T-step and you set your ball. All right?
So your shoulders coming down. You don't push there. You drop your shoulders, drop your elbows. The first muscle is doing this, and then the hand follows. Not this. See? Drop the shoulders. Again, trying to concentrate here, the hands will follow with the gracefulness. That's where I think you will relax more if you're concentrating more here. And that the shoulder, and you're not just dropping it down, you're bringing it down, like putting your elbows down.
When you come down, you're making yourself small. Making yourself small by dropping your shoulders, coming down. Let's try that. All right? We're actually going to put you guys push down so that you don't get hit. We're going to dance this way. So, all right. So you're holding your ball. Actually, let's start from the beginning. Commencing form. Tai Chi posture. Slowly move the hands to the middle of your thigh. Gradually bring them up. Elevate using that back muscle. Use power of concentration. Reverse the motion. Dropping your shoulders. Lifting your right hand, getting into a T-step, holding your ball. Parting of the horse's mane. Focus on your hands. Heel comes out, hands shift. Open the knee, rotate, stretch. Sit back. Out, hold your ball, heel and hands shift. Rotate, stretch. Sit back, making sure you have your glove. Out, our mitten, heel, rotate, shift. Half step forward, hold your ball. Rotate, spin your ball, sit on your back foot, lift up your hand, lift up your foot. White crane spreads its wings on its toes. Follow your hands and your fingers. Left hand is cocked. I still have my mitten on. Right hand passes through the edge of my left shoulder. I still have my mitten on. We're doing another thing. Here's my ball on T-step. I step out, but as I step out, my hand starts to shift. My arm starts to shift out because I'm going to part it this way. Now, this may not be as obvious, but if I just did it, what I just did, but to show you a difference. When I part my horse's mane and I just use arm and wrist, it should never come out like that. Because this you're treating in isolation. The power of the movement and the energy is drawn by your core and your back. So if that's the case, it has to radiate and come all the way through that arm to get the soft movement. Okay? So let's try that. But when you serve or when you part the horse's mane, it finishes, when you're finished with the tip of your finger coming out, is when your toe is finally down and you're stretched out. In other words, the foot cannot come down and then you decide that you're going to park it. It has to be timed, okay? So that's another element. Someone's shaking their head, yeah, because it is a lot of things to think about. But that's how you acquire softness. So like everything that I teach you, it can't be gained in a few minutes, but the idea and the beginning of the change occurs, and over time you'll get it. Okay, so just be patient.
Okay.
All right.
Coming from, like you should say, shoulder girdle. It's almost a push-up from here, but because you're coming out, push out, start from here. This is the slow-moving muscle, gather speed. You can feel the thing coming. But you should try to get that feel, traveling up your arm.
So we're looking at two things. Making sure you have your mitten on, making sure that you time it so that the finish of the foot is the finish of your hand. Okay? And we'll go from there. All right. Let's start from the beginning. Let's all the way go through one crane and we'll just one crane. All right, here we go. T-step. Out with your heel, out with your hand. Stretch. Sit back. Out. Hold your ball. Heel and hands open. Stretch. Sit back. Out. Hold your ball. Heel and hands open. Stretch. Half step forward, hold your ball. Rotate your ball, lift up one hand, then your foot. White crane spreads its wings on its toes. Moving on. Drop your front foot, bisect your body, look back at your backhand that's higher. Bring it to your ear, set out your heel, soft and hard. Sit back, out, look at your back.